Let's talk Jimmy G, because he's still on this team. And my question about Jimmy G is, do you think he's played his final game with the 49ers? If no, why? If yes, do you believe the parting is mutual, or is it just the Niners kicking him out? Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo wants out too? That's the second part of the question. Who goes first?
I think it depends entirely on how Nick Mullins plays the rest of the year, because as long as I haven't seen if it's definitive, if Garoppolo's for sure out for the year, if it's just that 6-week thing. But if Mullins is mediocre and there's a chance for the playoffs, who knows if they bring Garoppolo back. I personally wouldn't for the rest of this season. But if Mullins plays really well, then that makes the decision easy of move on from Garoppolo, save that cap space. I know Grant would love if they went full on Mullins and got a younger guy to compete with him. But I think that it's probably Garoppolo's last season with the 49ers. I think Garoppolo's talented. Everyone here knows that I'm usually the Garoppolo optimist in this thing. Which is
important because he deserves optimism. He wins every game almost, except for this.
Yeah, well, and maybe it's to a fault because I've never seen a all-pro quarterback for the Niners, but I think Garoppolo is talented, and I think he'll be decent with another team, and I think Shanahan will be better with another quarterback. I think it's just a match that didn't work out this season for the two.
You're just a great backup, Maverick. You're hyping up your starting quarterback like that, even though you're going to take over.
That's big of you, Nick. That's big. Yeah. Leo. Hey, now you're there you go, Leo. You're up.
I love it. So at first, I'm going to hit on Jimmy. There's no reason why he would want out of the 49ers. You have Kyle Shanahan calling your plays. Then you have George Kittle. You got Deebo Samuel. You got Brandon Ayuk. There's no reason for him to... You're going to go to New England and get N'Keal Harry. Like, yes, he wants to be a 49er. It's obvious. And then with Kyle Shanahan, he's going to call the shots here. Unfortunately, Jimmy Garoppolo is John Lynch's guy, but Kyle Shanahan's going to have the final say, and he has a pretty good reason why. It's not politics behind it. It's, hey, this guy's limiting my offense. We should have won the Super Bowl. Hey, John, you and I should have a ring right now if we just had maybe 1 third down conversion. And you just got to go. You look at the cap. The cap's going down a lot more. You could tell just Jimmy Garoppolo feels like he's being babysitted, and Kyle Shanahan feels like he's babysitting him. So it's just a partnership that's going to have to come to an ending at a certain point. It seems like a divorce is there.
Yeah, I think we've seen the last of him regardless, because there's still that pending if he needs to get surgery, even though I guess they're saying on the side, it may not be, but, who knows at this point. It's just, I just don't see him. And I don't think it's necessarily that he wants out. But I definitely do think Kyle Shanahan's already at the point, like, dude, I'm just done. Like, he gives us the best option, but it's just like, I'm just tired of this guy coming to the dinner table, taking a bite and just leaving. Because that's what he does when he leaves those wide open receivers. It's just like, you're just leaving so much on the table to be had. It's just really bad. And it was no coincidence when Nick Mullins stepped in, all of a sudden he's hitting those players down the field. And why didn't Garoppolo hit those receivers? So especially if Maverick said it perfectly. If Maverick plays great the rest of the way, then this decision becomes so easy. The salary cap's low, like Leo said. So, hey, that's more money we can get. So let's split that elsewhere, and let's just have someone decent, someone young, just go the rest of the way. I just don't see how he comes back at this point, not unless Maverick just plays horrible or gets injured. Don't get injured, Maverick. I don't want you to get injured.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think that Garoppolo is done in San Francisco. I wrote that on Monday morning. I just don't see a reason for them bringing him back at this point with where they are with the salary cap that's going to be dropping down so far. To paying a quarterback $25 million and taking up that big of a salary chunk next year, you got to be pretty good. And right now, everything that they're doing is scheming around Garoppolo. And I would see, using Mullins the rest of the way does two things for him. One, it's either going to show him that they have a good bridge quarterback for next season, or he's going to fail and they're going to have a higher pick next year in the first round where they could possibly get the quarterback for the future. So that's the direction I kind of see. And then as far as Garoppolo wanting to be in San Francisco, there's been a lot of reports this week as far as there being some drama behind the scenes between the two as far as that injury goes. So he might be looking to make a change as well.
That's the way I look at it. Once it comes out that the coach has basically, or the entire organization has questioned the quarterback's toughness. I mean, the report was that there was what was the wording? That there was a difference of opinion
a rift,
on the severity.
like a rift on.
What are you talking about? There's a difference of opinion. Only one guy's in his body. Kyle Shanahan's up at his press conference yesterday being like, yeah, I had a high ankle sprain my senior year of college. He always wants to reference his playing career. Dude, you're not an athlete. Stop right now.
He's quarterback right now.
My goodness.
49ers.
So yeah, I mean, to me, this reminds me straight up of Mike Nolan versus Alex Smith in 2007. Maverick, you remember that?
Yeah. I mean,
yes.
It ruined my opinion of Alex Smith for 15 years.
Right. So what Mike Nolan did was basically say, you're hurt, sure, but if you're a football player, you play through this. And poor Alex Smith tried to play through it, hurt his throwing shoulder worse, had to get surgery, never really had the same arm again. And, he went on to have a much better career than Mike freaking Nolan. When Jim Harbaugh came here, the best thing he did right away was say, no, we're not getting rid of Alex Smith. He's been beaten down by bad coaches. All I'm going to do is come here and say, Alex, I'm Jim Harbaugh, and I think you're good. And how far did that go? So it seems to me that with Jimmy, what he can say is, you questioned my toughness? You got me hurt? Alex Smith, there was no recourse for him. For Jimmy, he can just say, you know what? We're on a year-to-year deal anyway. Just cut me. Let me go back to New England where Bill Belichick can say, hey, Jimmy, you're good. Don't worry about what's happened to you in the past. Where he can pull a Jim Harbaugh and rehabilitate him. I think that might seem appealing to Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he might want out as much or more than the Niners would like to move on. I think the Niners are still a little hesitant about moving on from him because what's the plan? It might be Nick.
Yeah.
They might they could draft. They don't even know what their draft slot's going to be yet. So I think there might be something from Jimmy's side.
And I think what's his name? When Shanahan said yesterday at his presser, Grant, notice what he said, I know what I have with Jimmy, or I think I know what he has with Jimmy. That was like, okay. Then I think he starts to realize, why did I say that? Well, obviously you're gonna get better the more opportunities you get. So I was like, no. You know what you have in him, and don't backtrack. And I'm sure that it kind of bothers him now. It's like, we have so much money in this guy, and he's just injury prone.
So what should be mentioned about that same presser yesterday is when he was asked about the topic, Jimmy Garoppolo makes a certain amount of money next year, lower cap hit. Is he going to be cut? Is that something?
Right.
Most head coaches, when that's your guy, you're going to say, I'm not even going to entertain that question. Absolutely not. That is our guy. That is our leader.
Right?
You get mad. You get frustrated for saying that.
How could you even ask that?
You're
just going to come up here and start promising? Yeah.
Shanahan instead, salary cap is a part of football, and I love Quan Alexander, but having to trade him broke my heart. And salary cap, it's just a part of the business. Salary cap is a part of football. That was his answer.
He basically said, yeah, maybe. I mean, what do you want me to say? You basically know. That's what he said. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
You guys saw the All-22, right?
I do have a thing on Garoppolo. Is just I think at full strength with the offense, the team, I think he does give the 49ers the best chance to win. But when there's a lot of guys out, with Kittle out, with Deebo Samuel out, you do need a Nick Mullins type quarterback, someone that will actually take shots, because you can't dink and dunk as much without guys that are going to make guys miss. Otherwise, you have 4-yard passes that get you 4 yards instead of 4-yard passes that get you 15 yards. And then the conversation about drafting a quarterback, I think Zach Wilson's a guy people want. Trey Lance is a guy people want, but I'm not even sure, even at 4 wins, if the Niners lose out, if any of those quarterbacks will still be there, even with 4 wins for the Niners. There's a lot of bad teams that are going to move on from quarterbacks this offseason. And I think the Niners have already priced themselves out, unless they want to trade a lot of picks to move up to get one of those guys. I think they might have already priced themselves out for all of them.
Of course, Nick Mullins says you need a Nick Mullins.
Way to put us out on a positive note, Maverick. Thanks a lot. Mr. Positivity, Mr. Sunshine. Great. You're just saying that because you're Nick Mullins and you're like, hey, guys, don't just draft a quarterback. Maybe draft an offensive line. Maybe a right tackle. Maybe a right tackle. I don't know.
Is your grandfather in here?
What?
Is Larry in here?
Mav just said, I'm here.
All right, guys, that's it for today. We got to go find out if this game's even going to happen. What, Leo? What?
Before you go, we need your Jimmy impression.
A Jimmy impression?
Oh, yeah. Jimmy impression?
He
has a Jimmy impression?
Yeah.
This is Jimmy Garoppolo. This is This is 2020 Jimmy Garoppolo, not 2019 Jimmy Garoppolo. This is 2020 Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I see.
Is that not Jimmy Garoppolo? That's exactly what Jimmy Garoppolo does, right? That's what he does.
His future career is a toe tapper. That's it.
What is that, man? I'm tired. He's got to get a new look. That's Jimmy. Jimmy,